Thank you, members. I want to begin by acknowledging that this is not an easy bill and was not an easy discussion with my family. When we talk about removing a name from statute, we are not just talking about policy. We are talking about history, we are talking about identity, and we are talking about people's lived experience. But this conversation did not start here. It started with survivors. It started with members of our communities who came forward with painful stories of sexual abuse and rape.
I'm sorry, Madam Majority Leader. Members, I know we're beginning our work, but I'm going to ask for conversations to be taken to the side for some deference to this conversation, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair. This conversation started with survivors. It started with members of our communities who came forward with painful stories of sexual abuse and rape, and who asked something very simple of us: to listen and to not look away. When serious allegations of sexual assault and abuse are raised, especially by those who have carried that pain in silence, we have a responsibility to respond with integrity. As a survivor of domestic violence, I know what it means to question whether your voice will be heard. I know what it feels like to carry something heavy and wonder if anyone will believe you, see you, and hear you. And I also know what it means when someone finally does. That is why this bill removes Cesar Chavez Day from the Colorado statute. This bill is not meant to erase history, not to dismiss the labor movement, but because when we choose who we honor in law, we must be willing to reevaluate that honor when harm is brought to light. And we must be willing to center those who too often go unheard. But this bill does more than that. It creates something stronger, something broader, something that belongs to the people it was always meant to recognize, our farm workers, because this story has never been about one person. It has always been about the workers. In Colorado, agriculture is not a small piece of our economy. It is the cornerstone. It generates roughly $47 billion in economic activity every year and supports over 195,000 jobs across this state. In rural Colorado, farm workers make up a crucial part of the workforce, helping sustain local economies and communities every single day. And many of those workers are our families, who make up a significant share of the agriculture workforce and help keep this industry moving forward. But behind every number is a story, a family, a sacrifice, a legacy. I know that because it's my story. I'm the daughter of migrant farm workers. My family worked in the fields. My mother worked in those fields. She would wake up before the sun, work long days, and she would still come home to take care of her family. She believed in the promise of this country, even when that promise didn't always show up for her. And like many families, our journey was not easy. There were moments of struggle, moments where survival was not guaranteed, and moments that shaped who I am today. As a survivor, I understand resilience in a very personal way, the kind of resilience that is not loud, the kind that does not ask for recognition, and the kind that keeps going anyway. This is the same resilience I see in the farm workers across Colorado. This bill is about honoring them, the workers who harvest our food, the families who pass down traditions of strength and sacrifice, the communities whose contributions are often invisible, but absolutely essential. Farm workers are not a footnote in our history. They are the backbone of it. And today, we have an opportunity to recognize the truth in a way that is inclusive, forward-thinking, and rooted in dignity. By creating Farm Workers Day, we are not taking anything away. We are giving something back to the people who have carried this work for generations, back to the families whose stories deserve to be centered, back to a community that has shaped Colorado in ways we can never fully measure. This is about listening to survivors. This is about honoring workers. And this is about aligning our laws with our values. And let me be clear about what this moment means. To our Latino community, this is not about turning our backs on history. It is about telling the truth about it, holding it with honesty, and choosing to honor the people who carried that history on their backs every single day. We can be proud of where we came from and still have the courage to grow. We can honor our roots and still say that harm has no place in who we choose to lift up. And to survivors, especially those in our Latino community, we have too often been told to stay quiet, to protect reputations over truth, to endure instead of speaking out. I see you, I believe you, and today this body has an opportunity to stand with you, not in words, but in action, because silence has never protected us, but accountability can. This bill sends a clear message that we will not ignore harm, no matter how difficult the conversation, that we will not elevate legacy over lived experience, and that in Colorado, survivors will never have to wonder whose side we are on. We are on your side. And at this time, we're lifting up the true hearts of this story, the farm workers, the families, the generations who rose before the sun and built this state with their hands. This is not about erasing. This is about restoring dignity, restoring truth, and restoring honor to the people who have always deserved it. So today, we choose courage, we choose honesty, and we choose to stand with both survivors and the community that shaped so many of us. I respectfully ask for your yes vote today.